What's up, Big Bear Nation? Welcome back to the homestead. So today has been a rainy day, and so whenever we have days like that, we try to take advantage and do stuff inside. So today I had a lot of things that I had to catch up on and get done, so I thought I'd bring you along with me. The very first thing we're going to do today is we're going to make our next batch of yogurt. Our family has been loving this yogurt recipe for the last probably 2 months. And I get fussed at every time we get low. We always have gotten to a point now where I have to sneak some off to the side just so I can make more. And I'll explain that in just a moment. But today we're going to take some of our raw milk and we're going to turn it into yogurt. So let's get started. Now, yogurt is so simple to make. I'm actually kicking myself in the butt that we didn't start this 12 years ago, 15 years ago when we had our first cow. But I think I was always intimidated by the process because I thought it was very difficult to do. And that's why I'm making the video. And you're going to probably kick yourself if you're not already doing this because you're going to see just how easy it truly is. Now, I have heard people talk about using an Instant Pot before, and I wanted to address that first before you start beating me up for my crock pot. I know a lot of people will be like, oh, you can use an Instant Pot. You can use an Instant Pot. Yes, you can. However, I have heard from a very reliable source that the rubber gasket that's on the inside of your Instant Pot, if you have used that Instant Pot for anything other than making yogurt, that gasket will start to absorb the smells and the flavors of the things that you've cooked, which is okay because like if you're just doing roasts and things like that, not a big deal. However, if you're eating yogurt, unless you're one of the very few, I don't think pork flavored yogurt or beef stew yogurt is really something that I would think is appealing or appetizing. So, to keep things easy, we're just going to use a crock pot. And the recipe is super simple. You won't believe it. So the very first thing, obviously, you're going to need your crock pot. And then you're just going to need milk, just regular milk, or you can use raw milk. And you're going to need a live active culture. This is our leftover yogurt that we had from the last batch. And I told you before, I've had to actually start hiding it because this is literally the last cup left in my refrigerator. So I had to hurry up and grab it before the girls or Jason decided to eat the last of the yogurt. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is get our gallon of milk. So I have my measuring cup. And I'm going to go ahead and get 4 of these because this is 4 cups measuring cup. So we're going to put a full gallon into the crock pot. Okay, so I have my gallon of milk in the crock pot. I'm going to go ahead and take the lid, put it on, and then you're going to turn your setting to low for 2.5 hours, okay? And then when that's done, we'll come back and I'll show you the next step. Okay, so it's been 2.5, maybe closer to 3 hours. We have unplugged the crock pot and now we're going to let it sit for 3 hours so that it gets a chance to cool off. Okay, so it's been about 3 hours. So now it's cool enough for us to be able to put the yogurt culture in. For this gallon of milk, I needed a cup of starter. So this is just the yogurt that was left over from the last batch. And so I'm just gonna put that in there. And then I'm gonna stir it up pretty good. And then all we're going to do is We're going to cover this with a blanket. I know that sounds weird, but I've followed that instruction every time and it hasn't failed me yet. So we have a nice winter blanket that we'll wrap this crock pot up in, and we'll go to bed, and when we wake up in the morning, we should have fresh yogurt. Okay, so it's the next day. I've got my crock pot. It was wrapped in a blanket all night. And so now we're gonna take the blanket off, go ahead and open this up and see what we got. All right, so as you can see, I've got a nice, it's set really, really well. Okay, now one thing I have noticed, and I'm not sure exactly why, I'm sure there's some science to it, but the yogurt that we make from the raw milk, it tends to be a little bit more runny. I have been able to combat some of that by letting it sit a little bit longer. And then the other thing that we do is we will take this yogurt, and I have some muslin bags that we found at bin time. Jason found these, and it was a great find because I was able to use them for so many different things. But I'm just going to take one of these bags, and I have an old container that we used to use for our kombucha hotel, for our scobies. And this actually fits perfect inside it. So I go ahead and just put this here, pull it down pretty good so that I have it kind of tight. And then I just go ahead and put all of the yogurt in here. And then once I'm done, I will tie it up and hang it and let all of the whey get out of the yogurt. And then I'll use the whey for random things. So that's basically all that's left to do. If you don't want to do this step, you can go straight to putting it in a container, put it in the fridge. I don't really know how long it will last in the fridge because it doesn't really last very long here. With all four of us eating yogurt for breakfast, after about a week, it's time to start making more yogurt. So, just pay attention to it. And the other caveat I will say is, once you start this, make sure that if you like it, make sure you put some starter off to the side, because if you don't, you'll end up having to go back to the store to get more yogurt culture to start back up again. Now, I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and check out this video over here, and we'll see you on the next one. Thank you for stopping by the Big Bear Homestead. God bless, and have a nice day.